Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 20 Sides of Failure Plays Curse of Strahd. I am just your humble bookkeeper, but here with me we have the characters that will be the main plot points of our viewing today. Starting with the bottom corner, we have our Furbolg Druid.
Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play Sandra Elwood, our Furbolg Druid, who is trying to keep everything together, trying to not think about anything, trying not to think about Irina being tortured in a pit, and just focus on taking care of their little baby. She needs her head checked.
And talking about that sweet little baby, we have our Barbarian Cleric.
Hi everyone, I'm English Ray. I play a human barbar cleric, Amira Cole. I'm so very much owie. I'd like to see my grandma, please.
And part of the party, beautiful part of our party, leading them to get their ouchie sorted, is our Paladin.
Hello, I'm Nura Nightingale. I'll be doing Aurora Rose, who is, I feel like she's still processing everything and just trying to take the most reasonable route to not get herself or anybody else killed.
Alright then. Our other characters and players of this stage, Jack and Saya, will be joining us later. But for right now, we'll be starting, as we mean to go on, an announcement before we fully begin. There will be no game next week, as we have me being away, or at least there will be no Strahd. There is the potential that there may be a one-shot, there may be a game ran by other people, but just keep your eyes out for a going live notification. I am not in control of that and have no idea what's happening. But let's recap the last part of our story. Strahd apparently, he has a G in his name. Strahd lay siege to the Burgomaster's mansion, and through a mixture of magic and trickery, charmed Irina into making sure that she left the party and ran into the woods outside Vallaki. In a desperate bid, the party decided that it was a better idea to go back to their rooms and recuperate, to try and heal and lick their wounds before actually taking on the power that is Strahd. Everyone managed to rest other than Amira, who suffered from terrible nightmares. And it's those nightmares that we're going to be hopefully solving as you travel eastward past a rather suspicious looking carriage and round the hillside to a very familiar camp. The campfire is roaring as you come round the corner and hear people chatting, discussing. As you come round the corner, they are noticing you and waving until they see, because if I remember correctly, Sonda, you're carrying Amira?
I believe King's carrying me.
King is carrying you. I knew that someone was. I just couldn't remember who. So they look to see you being carried by this automaton, and recognizing you, Amira, they immediately begin to spring into action. They call out. They begin rolling out blankets. They are trying to create almost a makeshift like little hospital ward. They even take down some, like, the best way of describing it would be like, it's not quite a tapestry, but it's more like the fabric version of a poster. But they're taking down these wall hangings that are meant to decorate the side of the caravan and creating like a privacy area so that you can be tended to without anyone gawking at your body.
Thanks, guys.
The path to you is cleared as you can hear the familiar telltale click of a wooden cane hitting the floor.
Hi, Irma.
I believe all of you, at some point, have met Madam Eva at this point.
Yes.
Yep.
So you recognise this incredibly old woman, very much hunched over with age. The stick, not very long because it doesn't need to be anymore. As she comes, I want to say fast walking, but it is very much a hobble. As she looks you up and down, Amira sees that you haven't healed, sees that you, in fairness, look exhausted.
Hi, Irma. Everything hurts.
She gives you a very comforting smile and makes sure that like a lot of affection is directed your way. Like if it was an aura, you would have just been like hit with positive energy. But then she turns around to the others and like a scolding grandmother just goes, "And what is this?" As she starts like, no, she's not looking at the rest of the party. She's looking at the other Vistani. As they've like made this privacy tent for you. She's like, "You are pandering the girl. She does not need this. She just needs to stand on her own feet." And she places a hand on your head, Amira, and the gesture looks like she's just pushing part of your ponytail like back behind your ear where it's come loose, but you can actually feel this radiating warm energy flip past your forehead, behind your eyes. It's almost like someone's put like a heated pack above your eyebrows. And it immediately takes away some of your tension, like the migraine headache of not sleeping properly actually leaves you. And I want you to take away one level of exhaustion.
Ooh, you cut off really bad.
Oh, fuck. What'd you hear?
Need you to
And I want you to.
Yeah.
Take away a level of exhaustion.
Hey!
Dealing with one, folks. Just the one.
So at the very least, your speed is no longer halved.
Yep.
But for anyone watching from the sidelines, it just looked like all she did was brush Amira's hair out of her face, but she already looks better.
Saunter just visibly kind of sags with a little bit of relief. As he's just been kind of like fiddling with one of the frayed edges of his sleeves, and just seeing a little bit of color come back to Amira's face, he's just like, oh, thank God.
At that point, King hasn't been told to put you down, Amira, so he's not going to. So I'm basically leaving it up to you of whether you climb out of his arms or not.
I think it'd be safe to assume that Jack would tell him to put me down.
Yeah, safe to assume. So yeah, we'll say that King puts you down in a way that you're on your feet.
Mm-hmm. Like, she's still clutching her ribs like they hurt. Like, battered and bruised.
Sandra will kind of just like lean over to Amira once she's like on the ground and just kind of like, you should also bring up the nightmares. She might have some idea of what's going on with that. Just like stage whispering.
Oh, that's a really good shout. I've been having nightmares. I can't really figure them out.
She kind of rubs her chin, and you can see these old hands completely knotted with arthritis, just scrunching up underneath her chin. And she looks to you and says, "Dreams as premonitions? Or dreams as if you are being disturbed in your sleep?"
I think a bit of both.
And she looks to you with a nod. As well, if it is premonition, then that's easy. We just need to ask what the mother wishes you to see. But if you feel like you are being disturbed by an outside force, then that is a completely different thing.
Sorry, writing notes. Well, Mother hasn't really been answering me. I've been trying, but I'm getting nothing.
Well, let's see if I can do any better. Come, all of you. There will be room. And Madam Eva begins to take you to her specific tent.
Sandra is like right behind Amira. Like this entire time he's been hovering like a concerned parent is the best way to describe it, where he's giving her space, letting her walk on her own, like all of that, but he is literally like so ready to catch her if she starts falling or just to support her if she needs it.
Amira will definitely like accept his help. Thank you. But we really shouldn't keep her waiting.
Just kind of gives her a sad smile, in a nod. Well, I'll move as fast as you can go, but I'm staying with you.
She smiles at Sonda very appreciatively.
I mean, in fairness, Sonda, whatever Madam Eva has done has very much helped Amira. She's walking faster than you, just naturally.
I'm guessing it was greater restoration, but Sonder isn't quite sure. He's like, it was some sort of magic, possibly this, because I know how this works, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth and ask questions.
You're also more than welcome to roll an Arcana check if you like.
Fuck it, why not? Let's go. Oh, okay. I was a nat 20.
Yeah. So with a nat 20, you know exactly the spell that she used. And it was a great restoration. So while it's not taken away, all of the problems, it's at the very least taken away one of the immediate ones.
Mm-hmm. Sonder will kind of just like let out a little bit of a relieved sigh. Because in the back of his head, he's like, if I need to, I can take away the last one. But I'm glad somebody else knows what to do, basically. He kind of just like nods and smooths Amir's hair back a little bit. And kind of just like gestures to follow Madam Eva.
Okay. You all begin to head into this space that you've been in before, covered in hanging baubles and trinkets, things that have been kept from a life long lived. This woman positions herself on the other side of a long wooden table and makes sure that you all sit on the other side of it. And I'm very quickly going to look up the description of the spell, because I want to make sure that I do this correctly. Okay, so she sits down on the other side of the table, and from a box behind her, she begins to take out specific herb leaves and what looks to be dried sticks, and with a little bit of a click of the fingers, sets them on fire. The tent immediately begins to fill with the smell of frankincense and patchouli, very much like heavy incense smells. She then takes out... There's no other way of describing it than a sugar cookie. And places that in the middle of the incense and just watches as the cookie begins to char and burn, and now mixed in with the incense is the smell of burning sugar and butter. Definitely is beginning to give you all a headache. Her eyes originally don't change, but she shuts them and opens them again. And in between the moments of shutting and opening, she no longer has a pupil, and she no longer has an iris. They're not glowing, but her eyes have gone, like, completely white. This is just the eyeball. You hear her muttering something under her breath, but it's not in a language that I think any of you recognize. As I very quickly check. Yes, it's in a language that none of you know.
What language is that then?
She hasn't taught you all of her languages.
No, honestly, I know she taught me like Abyssal and Elvish and Infernal.
Yes, so there's one that you don't know, and she says it.
How rude.
And when she blinks again, her eyes come back into focus. She leaves the incense burning and leaves the sugar cookie, like, melting essentially into this. There's no other way of calling it other than like an ashtray that she's put everything in to burn. She looks to you and goes, "Do pastries mean anything to you?"
What, to the group or just the mirror?
Or to everyone. Like, she's looking at the group, being like, "Do pastries mean anything to you?"
My sister was a good baker. Out of character, it was pastries she did really good, wasn't it? Or was it cookies or cake?
All of the above. She was good at doing like pastry and croissants and stuff like that, but she was also good at like macarons, cupcakes, cookies. She did a bit of everything that you would find in like a bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the...
Yeah, like out of character, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I think that's it, but
Well, the only other thing I can think of is the windmill. Because that was like flour and didn't the hags do some kind of pastry or something?
that's very true.
Well, seeing your either puzzled or questioning expression, Madam Eva just kind of does, like, a shrug. "Well, whatever is ailing you, my dear, I am being given the image of a pastry." Do with that as you will.
Very interesting.
In character, because Amira has been to that mill, so she's seen it.
Mm.
The only other thing I can think of is the windmill. There were hags in there, and it was like a flour mill. I don't know if they did pastries or what in there, but I know there was a mill in there. There was a millstone, and I broke some teeth in a bag.
looking to the group, there's this moment of, like, realization on Ava's face. When you fought the women there, did you kill them all?
One was left behind. One got away?
She teleported away, yeah. Yeah, it just, this horror kind of dawns on Saunders' face. They were night hags. Why didn't I see it sooner? Would Sonder know any way to, like, protect oneself, I guess, from hags that are on the, like, fiend category? Because he would know more about fae, but I know night hags are more fiendish than anything.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Not so good the other time, but, you know, I tried. It's a 10.
You're sure that there must be some kind of magic to give that kind of protection, but you personally don't know it.
Sad.
Are you thinking it might be a curse or something?
Curse? Or actual tampering?
Tampering?
Yeah. They are tampering with you.
So how do I stop it?
Easiest solution? Kill what's tampering.
We have no idea where she went.
Well, for her to touch you, she must be here, no?
She has to touch me?
Well, 'tis the logical solution. If someone must enter your mind, they must be near your mind to do it.
So she's somewhere in Vallaki? And I don't want to point any fingers, because I don't have any evidence. But the only people that we have been around in Vallaki, were Danica and Erwin, and they're lovely, so I don't think it's them. The seamstress, the,
I didn't go to the seamstress.
I thought the 3 girls had, like, a girls' day, and they went to the seamstress, like, the first day in Vallaki. Am I misremembering that?
It was Irina, not Amira.
It was.
Oh, don't listen to me.
The only time I did anything dressy was when we had to put on that wedding dress.
Yeah, that was. Oh, right, yeah, because the charismatic people went to the tailor and the non-charismatic people went to talk to the burgomaster.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I misremembered that. So then it's Danica and Erwin, the, like, whoever the fuck we fought, basically, like, but I don't think any of the, like, undead would, because we killed them, so, like, that doesn't work. I mean, obviously there was Strahd, but I don't think the hag is impersonating Strahd.
Nobody else had pastry. Like, we weren't offered pastries or anything in like the winery or anything, were we?
No, we were offered a bottle of wine for helping fix their tainted wine. I remember that, but
just to catch you up, Dee, Madam Eva managed to cure one of Amira's exhaustion points, and then when divining with the, divine, to figure out what is chasing you, the answer that she got back was linked to pastries.
Alrighty.
So we're thinking potentially the hags at the windmill.
because one of them teleported away. So we're trying to be like, who the fuck have we been around lately? Who could be a hag in disguise?
Are we sure the hag's not just back at the windmill?
I mean, we can definitely track.
I don't think if there's any other pastry place. I know they were using the mill to grind things.
Yeah, we definitely think it is the one hag that dipped, but we don't know where she is. But Madam Eva said that she had to be close by to like interact with Amira. So we're trying to think of places that we have been where somebody could have done something.
It's a lot of places.
Yeah. Because, like, I'm thinking maybe, like, the tavern. The last big meeting that we had was with the guards that were trying to help us. Because it has to be something, like, inconspicuous. That's, like, my thinking, basically. Or it has to be, like, hidden in plain sight, somebody that you wouldn't notice. And it didn't, like, just happen, so it wouldn't be the family that Jack was like, hi, are you guys good? So it's not them.
No, Amir never even interacted with them.
Exactly. And this was happening before we saw them, so that rules them out. I don't think it's Danica and Erwin, because Danica and Erwin are saints, and we love them.
The only person I'm thinking of who got close, like really close, that wasn't in a combat situation would be the Burgermaster's wife.
Lydia, I think her name is, but I don't think she's the hag. She's kind of just been there the entire time. And if the hags are in league with Strahd, I would think when Strahd was getting run around the house that she would be there. But she just went upstairs to protect her kid. If worse comes to worst, we have interacted with them before. I can cast Locate Creature. I still have it prepared.
That'll work.
I was going to use it on Irina. I mean, I can technically use it multiple times. But if we absolutely need to find her and mark her ass, then I have locate creature.
That will work. What's the range on that?
1,000 feet.
So we'd have to be in the city then.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it in the chat.
First things first. We should check the. We should check the windmill. It's on our way back, anyways.
That's probably the best course of action. If she isn't there, then we can try back in Vallaki and see if I can get any trace of her. There, at least.
Sounds like a good start of plan.
If I may, I have a thought. Maybe the hag isn't necessarily a person. Is it possible that they can turn into animals too?
I have no idea.
Like a raven or something? Crow?
I'm not attacking one of those ravens.
Um,
If they're a
You
bird,
do not
I am not
attack
attacking them.
the ravens.
it's a good suggestion. I don't think it's the ravens.
You do not touch the ravens, full stop.
The ravens are our friends, so they've helped us out multiple times. I don't think that's possible, but
I'm not necessarily starting trouble or anything. All I'm saying is it's possible it could be a raven because the ravens have helped us out and not know it. I'm just putting out ideas instead of trying to look over everything except for basics.
I'm pretty sure that they don't. I mean, they can, like, make themselves look human. I know that much. But Sonder kind of thinks for a little bit. Technically, one can polymorph themselves, but then after that, you need somebody else to get you out of it. So I don't think that's it. Night hags can change into people or humanoids, make themselves look less ghastly, but I don't think.
But also, remember I got into trouble with scarecrows? Vera was around then. I don't necessarily remember when all this started.
Just a
I
few
don't think
days
the
ago.
scarecrows were the hags, though.
I don't think so either.
I only got a nightmare last night and a night before.
So if it's only happened for 2 days, they've had to be interacting with you since 2 days ago.
Oh, if we can't find them, in a day, which I think we will find them, but what what if you, there's that one spell, I don't remember, but I think it's protection from good and evil. Would that work? Because that stops interference from, like, fiends, right? I don't have the spell myself, so I don't know, but...
There's the info for it in the chat.
Thank you. Okay, so celestial aberrations, elemental, fae, fiends, protection grants environment fates, creatures that frightened, charmed, or possessed by such a creature, target has advantage. Okay, yeah. Because what I'm thinking is that it's like they have like nightmare powers and like juju shit like that. So what I'm guessing is that if they did place a curse or are like interacting with you in some way, if somebody casts this on you and then you go to sleep, it could work. But is it like it is concentration? How long? It lasts only 10 minutes, so that won't last for the whole night. Damn it. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me.
There is... It's so annoying because I'm not high enough level. And also I can't change my spells even if I wanted to. Like, remove curse? If it is a curse.
Because, yeah. I don't know how their magic works off the top of my head, but I know they deal with, like, nightmares and shit. And I'm just dumb, and I literally didn't think of it beforehand. I don't think I have anything that would help with that. Most I can do is give you a buddy to stand watch at your side and beat people up if they try to touch you, but like that's kind of all I got. Because we didn't do like detect magic on you or anything yet, if I recall correctly, or did Jack do it already? Okay. So that didn't come up with anything other than it like leaving, I think that's what it was. So if we don't find the hag at the windmill and she's not in the city, where would she be? Just like in the woods?
She should be in. If they're staying put, I feel like they should be in the city. Because 2 days ago we were still making the plans, and we were talking to the burgomaster, getting the dress on.
Okay. If she is in the city, and if she's posing as a regular person, like because she's got like fucking disguise self or whatever, how do we do anything without attracting attention to ourselves?
We don't.
So we just like, yes, let's kill this random citizen.
As long as we are 100% certain it's the hag, ideally after they're taken out, they'll revert back to their normal form. And I should ideally clear our names.
I guess that's fair.
Wait. No, we stayed in the windmill that night. Sorry, I'm reading back over my notes, and I'm beginning to like kick myself because I didn't make notes for quite a few sessions, and they're literally the sessions right before I get the freaking nightmare. But we stayed in the windmill, which was the night when Irina had her nightmare, and I don't think we fully checked the windmill either. I think we just assumed it was empty.
No, we did a full check, because I specifically remember Sonder as a dire wolf going around and sniffing everything, and nothing came up.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that they didn't creep back in during the night.
Yeah.
But if it was then, like, does it... That might be meta. So, like, don't answer this if this is metagaming. But why would they just do that once? Because, like, another thing that is popping up is at least specific wording of, are you sleeping alone? So I'm thinking, like, fuck, did she, like, crawl through the fucking window or something?
We know she can go through floorboards because she did it in the windmill.
Okay, so if we don't find her in the city, we're fucking standing watch over Amira, and if some bitch tries anything, we smack her. That's all I got.
Is it possible that that she put a curse on one of the party members who's constantly by Amira's side and could be triggering it?
Well, that wouldn't make sense why it wouldn't be triggered on other people then.
True.
Whatever it is, I just want to find this hag and kill her so I can actually sleep.
I'm back to the windmill. Let's go search.
Sandra
Meg,
will
could you-
kind of... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I remember, do you know where else a hag might be?
You can see Ava thinking about that question. Well, if you're desperate to go hag hunting, there's always Baba Lysaga.
Do I know what that is?
Oh yeah, you do.
It sounds like it should scare me.
Oh yeah, it should. There is a flooded marshland to the south of Barovia. It's essentially map-wise, if you walked past Valaki and then headed south, you would come across the abandoned village of Berez. And that is... Go on.
How did you say that name? Like Baba
Lysaga.
Okay, because obviously none of you guys are from here. You just see Amira's eyes go wide, and her face just go pale.
It's the only other hag that lives around here. And it would make sense if you were on Strahd's list that he would ask for her patronage.
Go say hi. If they have a lead, might as well.
You do not go to Baba Lysaga lightly.
This isn't me going to anywhere lightly. You have an affliction that needs to be cured.
I'm so sorry. What was the name of that town again? Like,
Berez.
is it spelled exactly how it sounds?
Berez. Berez.
Awesome. Thank you. You can't reason with hags. It's always a deal.
Who said we were going to reason with her?
I think we should just kill her once and for all.
Why don't you tell them about Baba Lysaga?
She kind of chuckles under her breath and goes, Baba Lysaga is a different entity to the one that you fought in the windmill. She is her own independent authority. And, let's just say that she is more powerful than I. And I would not talk about going into her domain lightly.
I see. Okay. Do we know what kind of hag she is? What kind of magic she practices?
Nobody knows for certain. She's an entity that is as old as Strahd. She has been here for many moons. But she normally keeps to her own territory, the village of Berez. If you can think of these stories you were told when you were young, something was used to scare children into not misbehaving or to not doing something specific at night. That is Baba Lysaga.
I see.
Face her. She may have the answers that you seek. If you walk in with your arms raised and just wishing to parley, maybe she will talk to you. But do not trust her at all.
We might get much needed information from her if we do. But hags are tricksy.
And they always want more from you than what they give you.
That's why we won't make a deal.
Everything is a deal to a hag.
Sandra kind of just gives her a look like it's a little bit of a raised eyebrow. I understand where your caution comes from, and I'm not dismissing that. But unless you actively make a deal or a contract, the most that they can do is just mess with you. And if we don't take anything from her, no food, no potions, just talk, it might be alright.
Gotta remember one thing, Amira. I grew up in the Feywild.
Just gives a small smile and a thumbs up.
I don't know what that is. But
Very weird place. Don't want to talk to people. It's all about tricks and whimsy and all that jazz.
Baba Lysaga is like that, but on insert D&D version of crack.
Siren.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bubble Soccer is like that, but on Siren.
Well, then that will be our last resort. If we can't locate the hag that might be bothering you, and none of our ideas work, we'll keep that in our back pocket. But don't discount it yet. I know it's terrifying. Hags are always scary to deal with, especially one as old as you say she is. But if we just talk,
I'd rather we try to win Mel first.
of course, it's a last resort, so if nothing else works, if all else fails, we at least have that. But I do agree it's last resort. I mean, I'm not a hag expert. I've heard about them and I've studied them and I've dealt with them before, but not one as old as this. But just don't discount it just yet. But, I guess let's go check out that windmill first. And see if that turns up anything.
Okay.
Sandra will kind of turn to Madam Eva and just like give her a very thankful look and just like a very small bow and just I appreciate all of your help. And I know you're close with Amira, so you would help her anyways, but thank you still.
Oh, trust me, my boy, I am not done helping yet. You need all the help that you can get.
He kind of like chuckles a little bit at that and like scratches the back of his head. There's no doubt about that. Well, thank you nonetheless for everything that you're doing for us.
At the very least, allow me to walk you out, as she gets up from her chair and begins to essentially escort you out of the tent flap. As she's doing that, Amira, she's going to place a hand on like the small of your back.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you feel this like radiating pulse of energy.
Okay.
As your other level of exhaustion is now gone.
Thank you.
Well, if you're going out to fight something, you might as well be at the best that you can be.
You got any potions that allow me to take a quick, long rest?
Not at all. Unfortunately, the best that you can do is try to sleep during the day.
Amira's eyes widen a little bit. Why the fuck didn't I think of that?
We did, let you nap. And that seemed to work fine.
Yeah, but we agreed it would be a nap, not a long rest.
too bad being nocturnal. Just in civilized parts of the world, nothing is open. But other than that, Sandra kind of just shrugs.
It's also dangerous to be wandering out outside of towns at night.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So, DM, these hit points that I've lost, do I get them back or are they still lost?
They're still lost. You're just no longer under the negative effects of having exhaustion.
Are my ribs all good or are they still like sore and achy?
Oh, they're definitely still sore and achy, but at the very least, you have no more brain fog, is probably the best way of describing it.
Yeah. Thanks, Orma.
And if you don't manage to sort out your problems today, feel free to keep coming back if you think that it's a problem that will take a little longer to solve.
Hopefully it doesn't, but knowing us, it probably might do.
Well, as I said, I'm happy to help where I can. Alright then. With that,
I was gonna say, Amira quickly just turns to the group and goes, 1 second, and hobbles like back to her own tent because she just wants to grab some more clothes.
mm-hmm.
Because if she's going into fight, she doesn't want to wreck this shirt that Sonda made her.
Easy enough done. Your tent has been pretty much kept.
Yep. Do I just add like another set of common clothes or something to my pack?
Yeah, easy enough done.
Okay. Yeah, so when she comes back out, she's wearing like a different outfit and just looks to Sonda. I don't want to mess up the clothes you made me.
He just gives her kind of like a fond smile and a nod. Well, they're yours now, so you can do whatever with them that you want.
Alright then. Anything else? Or are you immediately beginning to head out?
Hug Ormer and then I guess we're heading out.
Okay. If I remember correctly from my descriptions, you left Valaki at around midday.
Sounds about right.
So you've made
Yeah,
it.
because we let Amira sleep in.
Yes, you gave her the 2 hours of like an extra nap. So you didn't actually leave until around midday. And you travelled about 3 hours to get to this camp. So it's already late afternoon. And by the time that you get to the windmill, it's now early evening.
When we went past, is the carriage still there?
The carriage is still there.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And it waits with that same ominous aura as it had when you passed.
Yeah, as they walk past, Sandra is just gonna, like, quietly in Druidish, just like, please, please wait, just don't go anywhere, please, we're not ready yet.
Amira looks to Sunder, and obviously she can't understand him. But she will just say very calmly, like I said last time, I wouldn't be going anywhere without us.
I'm just, nervous, worried, I guess.
Strahd is a drama queen. He needs his audience.
I guess that's fair, but also, he is capable of hurting people more than just physically, probably. I mean, I can't imagine, being a vampire and living for so long and learning how to torture people in a castle. And there's, spells for that too. I'm just going to stop talking because I'm going to make myself more anxious.
We're also going to try and deal with a hag.
I'll take a hag over Strahd any day.
Oh, 100%. But let's focus on the one in hand.
Thunder will kind of just nod. Here goes nothing.
Alright then. By the time that you get to the windmill, it's early evening. So we're looking 6 p.m. You're able to, at the very least, see the sun setting, but know that you have a little bit of time. You should, if this is a quick examination, be able to get back to Vallaki before nightfall.
Jack is going to cast Detect Magic and just give a once-over.
Mm-hmm. There is a barrel on the ground floor that while you don't get a specific school of magic, you are able to tell that it is magical.
Is it open already, or is it closed?
It is an open top storage barrel. And when you look in, it looks like it's filled with like a tar-like substance.
Does it look like the magic's coming from the tar itself, or from something inside of the tar?
It looks like it's coming from the tar.
This is curiosity now. Jack's try is just... He's a little curious on this. He's just gonna stick his hand in it.
No, absolutely the fuck not. No. Immediately no.
So what I need you to do then is I need you all to roll an initiative with the idea being of let's see who goes first.
Not fair enough.
Oh god.
It says there's no combat encounter currently
Yep.
for the scene.
Ugh. Fair enough. I didn't realise it wasn't going to just allow you to roll. What's
Why
the
would you
point?
allow us to do it?
Why would it let you do that? In that case, then we will very quickly create.
We're having a fight with ourselves.
Yes, we're right. There should be a combat encounter now, so you should be able to roll.
Either that, we all just roll a dexterity check.
I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah, that'll be easier. Everyone just roll a dice to check. Because at least that'll go through first time.
Well, looks like I'm not going first.
A check or a saving throw?
Check.
Check.
Well, Amira, you better roll higher than an 8. Jesus Christ. Hey, at least Seiya is able to stop you from being fucking stupid, so...
This is for science.
Yeah?
You know how you conduct science with parameters in place?
I don't have anything to put parameters on right now.
You are the parameter.
I love that. It's just a call into the ether. You are the parameter. So, Seiya, as the only one that rolled above Jack in initiative, you can see him beginning to prepare to put his hand in this tar-like oil. Do you let him?
No. Seiya is going to put her hands around his waist and pull him back.
Jack, is this contested?
Yes.
God
Okay.
damn it.
So, Seiya, I need you to roll an athletics check for me. And Jack, you can roll either athletics or acrobatics.
I'm gonna fail this because I have a -1 in strength.
God damn it.
I'm gonna fail this.
Oh!
Didn't fail this.
Yes!
Very nice. Okay, Jack, you feel a presence coming up behind you. You feel one of your party mates coming to stop you. And you try to almost predict the movements, trying to figure out where they're going to try to stop you, and you predict the wrong direction, as you thought it was going to be coming from either Amira or Sonda, but you did not expect Seiya, as she comes round the corner and just grabs you around your waist and stops you from moving.
Hello
She
there.
She puts her head against his back and just kind of looks up and goes, "What are you doing?"
I was about to take a look at something until you decided to stop me.
Look at your eyes, not your hands!
Looking with my eyes isn't going to tell me what this thing can do.
So, sticking your hands in it is an even worse idea.
You need your hands.
I would also like you to be in one piece. We don't know what that is. This is
Stick it first.
This is like telling a child not to eat things off the floor. Please, just... Sandra looks like he's about to have an aneurysm.
She'll kind of move around him, and she'll take out her notebook and take out a piece and rip out a piece of paper. And then she'll turn to look at Jack and gives him the paper. You can put that in it if you want, just not your skin.
He'll dip the paper into the ichor.
Okay.
The tar.
And you'll notice that the paper comes back covered in tar.
Does it have any specific scent other than just, oil, I guess is the best way to say it? Petrol? Question mark? Like, what does it smell like?
Tar has its own different kind of smell, trust me. It is a weird smell.
It does smell like, there's no other way of describing it other than like, it smells like petrol. But there is also, it's essentially if petrol had been mixed with a compost heap. There's something about it that's rotting, like you can smell rot. But it
Anybody have
drips
any
my
meat on
tongue.
them?
Meat?
I have rations.
Assume
There's
like
jerky
dried
in there.
jerky in there.
Yeah. She'll just hand over a ration.
It'll dip the dried jerky into it, see if that does anything.
You do, and the jerky comes back covered in tar. It's a little bit more than just a sulfur smell. Like, there is sulfur to it, but it's also that, like, rotting grass clippings and, like, mildew and mold. It's very much a rotting smell.
We're just trying to investigate it. We're not trying to get rid of it, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it like full to the top, or is there like a bit of leeway?
It is essentially full to the top.
Okay, well, we
There-
can't remove it then.
There's a little bit, like, I'd say maybe an inch from the brim.
Are there any jars here?
Yeah?
I'm just gonna grab a random jar and just fill it with this substance, just so I have it on hand.
Okay. Yeah, there is a, the best way to describe it is there is a dip in the level of the tar, so you know at the very least that you have taken something. Yeah, you now have in your inventory a jar of tar.
Makes me kind of want to have a full bucket of tar.
Yay!
Well, if we have at least one part of it that we can investigate, not with our hands, not looking at anyone in specifics, looking at Jack.
It feels like you're calling me out right now.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Now that we have a fucking sample, I guess this would be more of a question for Jack, in the sense is taking a sample from the bucket or from the barrel, is that also pinging as magical in nature, or is it just the barrel? Like, are they both highlighted?
That's a very good question. Jack, in fairness, once you take the substance out of the barrel, it's no longer magical.
So what if it's the barrel?
Can I get... Is there another barrel that is of comparable size to this?
Actually, no, there's not. This is the only barrel. There's boxes, there's crates, and there's a chest off to the side, but there isn't any other barrel.
There's now another test I want to do, but we don't have the means of doing it.
Are
What
there
about
any?
pots?
Oh yeah, well there's cooking utensils. So there's pans, pots, cauldron to go over the fire.
The cauldron. Would I be able to... Is the cauldron about similar, or to the volume of the barrel?
I think volume-wise it's probably smaller. Just giving it like a guesstimation from your like mind's eye.
That's alright. Sandra, help me lift this barrel. I'm gonna fill up that cauldron. I'm gonna see... I wanna see something.
Not to be rude, but wouldn't it be more practical if Aurora helped?
I can help.
Would someone like to help me? Just anyone?
I'll help.
Well, it's less of you doing it. Like, I can lift it with the help of somebody else.
Aurora's stronger.
I believe I'm stronger.
Then, Amira, you and I can lift it.
Right, okay. I mean, I'm already cursed by a hag. What more can Tar do to me?
Just try not to get it on your skin. Put your cloak forward, so it's kind of like a smock, and keep it over your shoulders. And keep your hands on the bottom part of the barrel. So if it does spill out, it gets on the cloak and not on your skin.
Okay.
Sonder will do the same. Dress in full PPE, let's go.
Alright then. So, can you either roll 2 separate athletics checks, or someone roll with advantage?
I propose Amira roll with advantage.
So that's a 23.
23.
Okay. You manage to pour, essentially filling the cauldron up to the top without spilling any on the floor.
A
And Jack, once the cauldron is filled to the brim, the cauldron is magical.
And is the barrel still magical?
The barrel is still magical, even though there is now probably about half full.
So it seems like it requires a certain amount of this to actually remain enchanted.
Now that we have 2 separate things, once we put the original barrel down, I don't know if this will work, but why not? Saunder's gonna cast Purify Food and Drink on the barrel and see if it helps.
Okay. You cast the spell, and it still, after casting, looks like the same tar-like liquid.
Turns to Jack. Is it still magical?
Still magical?
Fucking damn it.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
This might be a dumb question, but has Sonder, heard of any of this?
You are more than welcome to make an Arcana check.
Can I as well, because I'm from here?
Yeah? Anyone can. It's just whether you've heard of anything.
Oh! I got a 17!
I got a
Very nice.
16.
Very nice. Okay.
It's not.
I mean, to be fair, 14 isn't bad. So, all of you, with that as a DC, know that hags are known as being incredibly powerful magical beings, in the sense that they can create magical items quite easily. Sonder, with a 17, you're getting the impression that you don't know whether it's the barrel or the liquid, but you're starting to think it's the liquid is one of these magical creations, where it doesn't necessarily have a description in the magical world, but that's because it's been created with the intention in mind of being some kind of primordial magical force.
Okay. Well, from my observations at least, it's the liquid inside of the barrel and the cauldron that are magical. And hags are powerful enough to where they can make their own magical items. So, I propose casting Dispel Magic and see if that helps any. I don't know if any of us have it at a high enough level to be able to dispel any of it, but it's worth a try.
Hold on. Amira completely like covers her hand in like her cloak, and she wants to dip one of her hand axes in and then pull it out.
Okay. Your hand axe is now covered in the tongue.
Is it magic now?
No.
Okay, well that's not disgusting.
We need to find a lid for this.
What was that? I'm sorry.
We need to find a lid for this. Put it all back together, put a lid on it. Take it with us.
Is there
Clearly.
anything on...
Go for it.
So is there anything on the ground that we can see that looks like a lid?
I mean, you can do an investigation check if you like.
Yeah, Jack's gonna find that lid.
Dirty 20?
Mirror might find that lid.
As far as you can see, Amira, there isn't anything that would be like a naturally occurring lid. Like, there isn't the top of a barrel anywhere. But you can potentially, like, create a lid out of the things that are here. It'll be very much makeshift, and you're going to have to keep checking on it. But it's at least something.
Okay. The next question was going to be like if there are like any nails or anything so that she can like kind of whack them in with like the side of her axe to try to keep it in place.
Roll a D100.
$88.
Hey!
Yeah, you're able to find some very rudimentary, like, construction equipment. So yeah, you can find some nails.
Okay. I actually have a hammer in my pack, so... so yeah, we'll just... It's not pretty. It may not hold. But voila.
So right, I'll have King carry it. Making sure he'll carry it right side up.
Just to clarify, did we pour the cauldron back into the barrel before we covered it up? Or are there two of them sitting there now?
Amira would have waited until like Jack would make the decision, being like, I have a lid-ish and some nails.
Yeah, I'd want it all back into one.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
My thought
Oh.
process is, if Hags uses the makeshift, we potentially need to talk to a hag. We might have a bargaining chip.
Where do we keep it?
In the barrel.
He just gives Jack a little bit of a flat look. Where
We
do we
don't have a
keep it?
sack or anything like that, so it's just gonna be in the barrels. You can carry it.
Where do we keep the barrel, is what I meant.
What was that?
Where do we keep the barrel? I doubt Danica and Erwin would let us put it just in the back room. And I don't think any of us should be sleeping near it.
We could possibly leave it here, but we'd have to then swing back here if we want to go talk together.
This is where a bag of holding would come in handy. Because I don't have anything to help with that, I don't think. Not that I've prepared, anyways.
Whatever room I'm in, it can be in there with me. I'm not sleeping anyway. What more is the hag gonna do?
Well, now that I know you're having sleeping issues, this severe, and hag related, I don't think you should be sleeping by yourself. If it doesn't, you can veto this if you need to, if it's too uncomfortable, but I think we should at least keep a guard rotation, just to make sure that nothing bonks your head when you're sleeping. If we do see something, then we can holler and beat it up. But I don't know if being watched over while you sleep is uncomfortable to you.
I don't feel any particular way about it. Never really had anybody watch out for me while I'm sleeping.
Well, if it becomes apparent that you're uncomfortable, just let me know, and I'll figure something else out.
Amira looks very conflicted.
Something wrong?
The idea of sleeping in a room on my own is not appealing, but where else are we going to put this that isn't going to be a risk to anybody else?
Why don't we switch robes? You could sleep in my room with Sonder, and I'll sleep in yours.
How about, if everyone is comfortable with it, we take a page out of Aurora's book, And we all just stay in the same room together. That way nobody is sleeping alone.
But then where are we putting this so that we can keep an eye on it, but nobody's in danger while they're sleeping?
We take watches and we just keep it in the same room.
If I may, I only need 4 hours. If someone wants to cover for the time I'm trancing, I could do the rest of it. I don't really need sleep that much.
That is also true.
Why? That's the way of saying this. Why waste a night on sleeping if you guys don't need to do that when I can take over?
Because you would only be covering half the night.
Then I'll stay up until Saya can take over. I don't mind. I just need everyone to be safe. As much as we can be right now. And if this is what it takes, then that's what I'm going to do.
Oh god. If we bring it back to the inn, we're potentially endangering Danica and her family too.
We can either leave it here or sleep here.
I do not want to sleep here.
I guess we leave it here until we need it. If everybody's, I guess, in danger of it.
Guess so.
Is there a place big enough to, like, hide the barrel? Like, either in just plain sight behind something, or, like, is there a spot where the building is dilapidated enough to where we can put, like, debris in front of it so it's not easily accessible? And we'll figure out if somebody's messed with it.
I mean, there are technically 4 floors to this windmill. So if you're prepared to move it...
Because I think that's the best course of action, is to put it in a place where if it gets messed with, we will see it. Because the first floor is the kitchen area, the second floor is the millstone, and the top floor, I think, was living quarters / storage, if I recall correctly.
And there's another floor above that.
Yeah, third floor had 2 beds. Top floor had a bed and a chest that had a book in.
No, there's no bed up there. Aurora and Azazel slept up there. It's essentially just a loft.
Okay.
Okay, So, out of all of the floors, which is the most beat up looking?
Oh, definitely the third.
Okay, so then third floor, hide it behind some rubble, make it look like nobody's touched it since forever. And note exactly like how it's placed. So when we do come back, we can check if it's been tampered with. And also there's a lid on it now, so.
Okay. Whoever.
That's at least my proposed idea.
If it's going to be moved, someone will again need to do an athletics check.
I will be one of the people to move it.
England.
Alright, then if King is aiding, then that's Amira doing an athletics check with advantage.
Okie dokie. Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's a dirty 20.
Okay.
God damn.
Between the two of you, you're able to get it up to the third floor.
Okay.
With your passive perception, Amira,
Yep.
because this is the first time that anyone has left the ground floor, you do notice that the third floor does have signs that someone has been living here. The bed is unmade. There are new, fresh carcasses and bones on the floor. Someone has definitely been here. And recently.
As soon as that barrel is dropped off and put in place, Amira just books it down the stairs. I want to get out of here, please.
Why?
Are you alright?
Somebody was here recently on the third floor. There are fresh carcasses. Footprints. Just.
Ideally, shouldn't we stay then? Because that might be the hag.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you want to do?
So we stay. See who it is.
If it is the hag and we can hide in plain sight, we can jump them as soon as they come in.
We already took out 2. Just the one.
I still have Pass Without a Trace prepared, so if we want to have a stakeout, I guess that works.
Guess everyone will get comfortable. We getting into a fight, and if not, we might just have at least a good discussion with whomever decides to stay living in this window.
Considering it is in the later part of, or early part of the evening, they should be coming back soon. It's not safe outside at night, and if it is a hag, then I think they have to come back eventually. Even if they are the scarier thing outside.
Jack will set up a small seat and like a bucket or something like that, just to relax just a little bit. We have to wait the long con for this one. Need be, I'll take the first shift. So if you guys want to try resting.
Well, Will you wake me up when you're done with your shift?
Okay.
I'll be good then. But just in case, does anyone want to be awake for the 3rd and 4th? Because I don't mind doing it on my own, so that you guys can sleep.
I wouldn't mind.
No, I'll wake you up, Sandra, for the 3rd shift then.
Sandra, could you wake me up too?
Of course.
I don't want to be asleep when you're not.
Gives her a fond smile and kind of like pats the top of her head. I understand. As long as you get your full 8 hours, I will wake you up not a moment sooner.
Okay.
Question, do we want to put traps or anything across the floor? Or are we just leaving it for whoever comes in?
I don't have anything to trap with, so...
I have a spell.
Will it do damage? Because I'm not sure if the person when you're wanting to do this could be hurt. I don't know if it's gonna be the hag.
It just puts them in the air. And makes them restrained. But other than that, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Am I alright with that?
Cool. I knew it was a good idea to fucking prep this spell. Sonder, make sure that nobody needs to leave the windmill. And if nobody needs to leave the windmill, he'll cast Snare. On the doorway. So they have to walk through the trap to be able to get inside to us. And it lasts for 8 hours.
It's whenever we find out Azazel's been living in the windmill.
Oh my god.
Well, if it is Azazel, he's just gonna get yoinked.
That did pop up in my head, and I'm like, nah, come on, no.
Oh no. Oh dear. We are very sorry.
This is so much worse than the hag.
I'll take Azazel over a hag any day.
Okay. Anything else that anyone wishes to do before we say that that is an end to the night?
Amira would ask if anybody knows how to clean tar off of a hand axe.
I don't have prestidigitation, so I can't help you with that.
Okay. Neither do I.
Find a cloth.
If you have enough water, you can easily clean the tar off.
I'll let it dry and then just chip it off, I guess.
It's also a possibility, or if you have any soap or something like that, that can also help. Soapy water can help with oils and things of that nature off of a hard substance.
Just from experience, because my dad used to work in quarries and I used to get tar on my clothes. It fucking doesn't.
No.
Once you get tar on something, you're kind of like fucked.
Just
The
use
enemy
enough
really
bleach,
needs brute strength.
and you're fine.
Light it on fire. The axe head will still be there, but you might need a new handle.
We have a weaver. Not a weaver, a whittler. We can make a new handle for that.
If I can make stakes, I can make a handle for an axe.
Can you make crutches?
I can make anything you want me to.
Throw crutches at Strahd.
Why?
You don't need to make a holy hand grenade.
I already made the holy hand grenade. I have a spell for that now.
Alright then. So, Jack, I need you to make a perception check for me. And I need everyone else to roll a perception check with disadvantage.
I will use a flash of genius on this perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, D. Okay.
Beautiful. Okay. You would notice, Jack, that as you're beginning to drift slightly in your watch, since you've realised accidentally that you've given yourself double duty, that a mirror begins to... It's subtle at first, but she begins to thrash slightly in her sleep and stir. You get the impression that she's having a kind of a nightmare.
I'm first gonna cast Detect Magic because it was fading the last time. So if it's coming back up right now, I kinda wanna see it.
So, casting Detect Magic, you can feel the strength of that magical influence. It's back, and it's here.
Alrighty. I have... I'm gonna try something. It's probably not gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyways. I'm gonna try using Dispel Magic.
Okay. You try to dispel magic, and nothing happens.
I figured as much. At that point in time, I am just gonna wake Amira.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to have a nightmare.
Okay.
Apologies for waking you. But,
No, thank you. I didn't.
that's right.
Thank you. I can take the next watch.
Careful.
Okay.
None. Let Amira take over.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Same thing again. But now, Amira, you're not rolling with disadvantage. Everyone else is.
Oh, I did advantage. Don't worry about that. It's actually a 2.
Perception with disadvantage, you said?
Mm-hmm. Fair play. 24. 2. Another 2. Okay. So, Saya, you're roused early from your sleep, and Amira, you would notice this as well, as Aurora begins to turn, twist.
I would immediately go over to Aurora and just wake her.
What? Who's what?
It's Amira. I think you may also be having nightmares.
Not good. Thank you for waking me.
It's okay. I'm sorry it's happening to you too now.
Just means we need to hunt down a hag.
Yeah.
Saya will get up and just kind of start looking around, making sure that everyone looks okay.
From the looks of it, other than Aurora, who's just been woken up, everyone seems to be okay.
If you want to try to get back to sleep, you can put your head in my lap, and then if you try to stir again, I'll wake you up again.
Alright, before I do, just, I want to cast something quick.
Okay.
She wants to cast, detect good and, detect evil and good.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
What is the range on that for me?
It's
like
within
how
30 feet.
Within 30 feet. So, because it's within 30 feet, you wouldn't even be able to feel your horse. So I'll say that you don't feel anything.
I don't know if you're seeing,
Yeah.
but it did not come.
You don't
through.
feel
Yeah,
anything.
Ellie, I think you're breaking up real bad.
You don't feel anything.
Okay. Can she kind of just, like, go check, like, the other floors real quick? Kind of just cursory, like, I'm doing this for my sanity.
Mm-hmm. And as you go up and down every floor, you don't feel anything.
Because she's got it for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't feel it.
Okay. Okay. She'll go back up and lay back by Amira. Oh, can confirm that there's nothing here. Not that I can tell.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah. Of course.
Right then. Heading back to sleep.
Once the watch is over.
Go on.
What happened?
Oh, the DM started talking, so I stopped.
And I said, go on.
Oh, Ellie, you're just breaking up
Carry
really
on.
badly for me.
You're still breaking up so bad.
Oops.
I think your internet is just kind of shitting itself. Or there's like a blip or something.
I think it's my CPU. Just struggling. But if you can hear me, carry on.
Okay, so once Amira's watch is done with, she'll go and wake up Saya.
Well, Saya was already awake.
I thought you were doing watches 3 and 4.
Technically she was supposed to wake up for the second shift, but we let it go, and then she just woke up anyway, so.
I'm so confused, because I thought Saya said 3 and 4 and was like, anyone want to join me? And Sandra was like, I will.
I don't even know. I don't...
I'm
Sure,
sure,
that's
I'm sure you volunteered for 3 and 4, because that's why Amira volunteered for second, because otherwise Jack wouldn't get a long rest.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm tired. My brain is not braining today, so...
Okay.
I don't know what I said.
Okay, so Saya went back to sleep for second watch. Amira will wake her up for third and fourth.
Done deal.
And then it's up to Saya if she wakes up Sonda.
Yes. Okay.
But Amira would say to Saya, keep an eye on Aurora. I think she may be affected too by the hags.
Alright. I will.
Thanks. And if you do wake up Sandra, just ask him to keep an eye on me.
You'll have 4 eyes. Keeping an eye on you.
Well, you need to keep an eye on Aurora.
Of course, and my eyes can do more than that.
Okay.
She'll get up and go over to Sonder. Sonder.
What's happening? Is everyone okay?
We're fine. Everything's fine. It's time for the watches, and we need to keep an eye on obviously Amira, and then Aurora, because Aurora started having a nightmare too.
Oh, that's not good. Okay. Do we each want to take one person? Or...
We can. I was gonna do my best to keep watch on both of them anyway.
Amira is still awake at this point while you two are talking. Can I just rest my head in your lap, Sonder, please?
Yeah, he will sit like crisscross and just kind of open his arms. And you know when a kid asks for uppies and they squeeze their hands at you?
Yeah.
He does that. He just opens his arms and is just like, come here.
Immediately just goes over to Sonder. Just lies down next to him with her head in his lap.
He'll like brush her hair like away from her face and just kind of like absent-mindedly like play with the hair like around her ears, or like just like scrape his nails like very gently across her scalp. Kind of like petting a cat is the best way to describe it.
it does help like relax her and calm her. Like she's not so tense, and then obviously she'll eventually drift off to sleep.
Yeah, he'll just keep doing it. And yeah, he'll put his cloak kind of over her as like a blanket. And he'll keep an eye on Amira and flick his gaze over to Aurora, see how she's doing every so often.
I know the Saya is going to go sit by Aurora and kind of position herself, if possible, DM, to like be near Aurora, but also be able to look at Amira as well.
Easy enough done. Sonda.
Yes.
After 2 hours, you need to go back to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Well, because if you don't, you won't get a full rest.
Yeah.
I mean, you can push on through and not get a long rest, but that's up to you.
I think it's important that we all get as much rest as possible. So I will stay up for the 2 hours and just kind of nod off after a bit with like Amira in his lap.
Alright then. You all wake up the next morning, definitely more refreshed, if not a little paranoid. Amira, for the sake of a long rest, you do heal, but you don't regain your maximum hit points.
And Aurora does get the long rest too.
Mm-hmm. But you do get everything else, in the sense of you get your... Oh, I take that back. Because of Madam Eva. Let me check. So I've got to get the spell descriptions up. It's a great time. Okay, yeah. So no, you still have the reduction to your hit point maximum. But you do get your spell slot back, and you do heal. Because you technically got your long rest. Alright then, everyone. What's the plan? As a new day dawns, and I will move the day forward on the calendar.
Seeing that no one came by in the night, as we weren't woken up to a fight. Jack will make sure everyone's awake, ready to go. I guess we're heading to Valaki then?
slight issue. Aurora started to, I think, get a nightmare. So it might now be both Aurora and I that are affected.
But nobody... Did anyone come by in the night?
Not on my watch.
I didn't see anybody either.
I used magic to try and search for anyone as well after I was woken up, and I couldn't find anything. Or anyone.
I was only awake for about 2 hours, but I didn't see anyone either. And the snare wasn't tripped. So they're doing this remotely.
That makes things more difficult. So head back to Vallaki.
Hopefully we can find this hag and put an end to this. Especially if it's spreading.
We don't know too much about it, though. Maybe they can only talk one person at a time.
Shrugs his shoulders. All of the things that I've heard about and read only really involve one person, so I'm not sure.
Well, I guess I'll be the test rabbit alongside Amira tonight then.
Alright.
I wanna.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try something, and I don't know if it'll work or not, and I don't know if anybody has tried it before, but I'm gonna give this a go. And Amira's gonna walk up to Aurora and take her hand and cast protection from evil and good on her.
Okay.
Because I want to see if it's like a possession thing or a charm or something, and see if that also helps get rid of it, but I guess that'll be checked later tonight.
And is protection from evil and good a thing that just lasts, or is it something that is a concentration?
Does
It
require
lasts for 10
concentration.
minutes.
Lasts for 10 minutes? Okay. In that case, as far as you're aware, it's been cast, and there is now a level of protection around Aurora that wasn't there before.
Just... we'll keep an eye out on Aurora tonight to see if anything does happen to you, or if you do get another nightmare. But we're not gonna know until then if it's worked. I'm hoping it does.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want you getting this shit too.
Yeah, having one of us unable to sleep is bad enough.
Let's head over to Vallaki. We'll give that town a nice sweep with both Sonder. It sounds like you also have a spell to be able to do so. Ideally, we run into this hag.
I hope hope so. We can all just jump her and beat her up for trying to mess with our friends.
If we don't, come back here, we'll grab that barrel. I guess we'll make a road trip south.
I, for one, am dying to get into her head as she's gotten into our friends' heads.
All right then. I need to do some rolls. Let's make them private.
So now we see the carriage on the way over to Valaki. It's like,
You don't see the carriage because you've walked past it.
I was saying, if Strahd moved it closer
No, that's fair enough.
to Valaki, we're like, oh, maybe they just didn't see it. Make me an omen.
All right then. After an hour of walking, I need to make sure that I give you the correct description as I very quickly flip through a book. Okay. You begin to hear howling in the mist. One wolf, then another, then another. What do you do?
Huh. Is their body language, like, are they hunting? Is it, like, negative, or are they just curious?
Nature check, you can't see them though.
Damn it, that's an 11.
It's definitely giving you the vibe of like call and response. But as another call comes up and another call comes up, this is a large hunting pack. And all of you be able to hear this is not subtle.
How far away?
Some comes from the forest. Some of it is far away. But then as more calls begin to come up, Sonda, they're getting closer. You don't have a lot of time.
Oh boy.
What
Alright.
are you doing?
Okay. So if they're getting closer and they're surrounding us, best course of action is to get somewhere high up, because wolves can't climb like that high, especially if we're like in a tree or something. Unlike bears or something, they can't climb. Is this just one person? Sorry, I'm looking through my spells to see if I have any.
Just to clarify, because You're breaking up a little bit for me, Ellie. It's wolves, right, that we're hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This only works on one, so I can't charm an entire pack of wolves. I can cast Pass Without a Trace, and we can try to hide.
I'm game for that.
If you're doing it, you need to do it
May
now.
not be able to smell us, but what was that? Aurora, you were trying to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can Aurora cast Speak with Animals? I stopped though because DM was talking and DM was cutting out for me.
Yeah, see if they're basically.
Yeah, so she's casting Speak with Animals.
Okay. With Speak with Animals, it's essentially because it's hard to describe what you're hearing, because at the moment they're just calling out, like they're just howling. But you do get the impression that as one howls, it's a not here. Another one howls, not here. Another one howls, not here. And they're getting closer to you.
I don't know what they're searching for. I just get the impression that whatever it is isn't here every time they howl.
That's not good. Especially if they're searching for us.
I'd say everyone take cover, get into a tree, and hopefully they pass right by us.
I'll send my horse further into the trees. And she will relay that command to the horse telepathically.
Okay.
Ali will be back. The Discord just crashed.
That's fine. I'm warning you now, just because the way that this forest is, like the nature of the trees, there is no way that all of you are going to get inside a pass without a trace radius if you climb up these trees.
Damn it.
Because they are huge pine trees.
Is there any other elevated space that would be difficult for a four-legged creature to climb onto in the immediate area?
Not where you are on the map, because you've just essentially gone around the serpentine, and to your right is the lake. So if anything, you just entered the valley.
Damn it. Okay. next best thing would be to try and mask your scent and get out of plain sight.
You can still pass without a trace. You'll just need to do it on the floor.
Yeah, I think that's our best bet.
Huddle together, make us look like a rock.
Yeah,
Hopefully they don't get too close while in the mist.
really wish we had a Cloak of Elven Kind right now.
Wrong campaign.
I know.
Alright then.
If only. Saya does have a cloak, but it's not magical or any of that.
We casting pass without a trace, Honda.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Everyone please roll a stealth check. And you can add a plus 10 to your roll.
Thank God that... Thank God for passing out a trace. Holy shit.
Right?
Okay.
Wait. Saya,
You've added a
it's
d10.
just a flat 10,
Yeah.
not a d10.
Oh, I was trying to add the 10 to it.
Yeah, so you don't put plus 1 d10, you just put plus 10. Okay.
Okay. I wasn't even sure where to put it. We'll go with that.
When you pull up the check, it has the formula, the ability modifier, in the situation bonus. You just type in manually plus space 10 and then hit normal, and it should roll with the plus 10.
No
To be
worries.
fair, I had no idea that said situational bonus. I didn't know what that said.
I mean, to be fair, Ali, you don't need to roll again, because we've got your dice roll, and then I'll just add 10 to that.
I think it would be a 21 if my math checks out.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be a pain.
That's fine. You're not the only one that didn't do it. Okay,
She
so...
rolled a 1 on the d10, so you'd only add an extra 9.
very true. Okay. We have a 9 from Aurora, though, even with the plus 10. That's a natural 1. We've also got a
Could be
natural...
one.
Yeah, natural 1 from King. Okay. We will... Okay. I will actually give the power to Aurora, and technically to D, but for King. How does your natural 1 manifest in this world?
Oof. I'd say right offhand she's trying so hard to focus on the on listening to the wolves that she's probably not paying attention to her surroundings. So if someone goes to grab her or tries to, it's like, hey, we're getting into this position, it would catch her off guard. We make her like trip and do the stereotypical step on a branch.
Okay.
King is a loud person. Stealth is not. Stealth is not King's strong suit whenever you're made out of metal. So him just trying to help hide, trying to get smaller to stay still. He does it a bit too fast. You hear the grinding of gears, the clanks of metal, as it was a quick work in changing his, a bit of his, frame.
For everyone else, you do a decent enough job blending in with the foliage, trying to, at the very least, get yourself into a position where you aren't as noticeable and you think you've done a good job, but then you hear the grinding of King's gears and you hear the scrape as Aurora's armour hits the back of a tree that she wasn't paying attention to. And you immediately begin to hear howls. They're on their way. They know that you're here. So now the question is, stand and fight or flee?
If they're just regular wolves,
That probably outpaces.
I'm trying to see what the that's not what I wanted. Yeah, they move pretty fucking fast. I can.
How fast is
Oh.
pretty fucking fast?
Hmm?
How fast is pretty fucking fast?
Like 50 feet.
Oh fuck, right, okay.
If I drop. No, that'll take up my only spell slot if I do this for all of us.
So we stand and fight.
If it's a pack of wolves, though, if it's multiple packs of wolves, we'll be outnumbered.
There's maybe a chance we can reason with them too. I can speak with them at least for now.
But if they're normal wolves, you can take them pretty easily.
But these are Strahd wolves.
I believe your mean for is if they're normal wolves or if they're werewolves. Either way, we'll tell when they come in because the two look different.
You're sitting here having a discussion and you can hear the pads of their feet as they're running. You don't have time to plan.
Okay, are we running or not?
What does Captain say?
Such a bad idea.
Get ready to fight.
Alright, we're fighting.
Alright, I need to, where is it? Yeah, okay. Who has the most hit points here? You or you? Okay. Yeah. I guess drop the pass without a trace and wild shape. I turn into a dinosaur.
Okay. So the real question I have at the moment, just for my own visuals, is, are you staying in the forest, or are you moving out onto the path?
My vote would be to stay in the forest on this one. We can use trees for cover so that way we don't get immediately surrounded. We can take advantage of the high ground.
And if we can, keep the wolves separate from each other because they have pack tactics. So, keep your distance.
In that case, what I will say is the last thing you hear before combat officially starts is actually from Aurora, because you still have Speak with Animals going. You hear one of the wolves yell out to another, "Inform the master, we've found them."
Great.
And that is where we are going.
For?
And that is where we are going to end today's session, with next week beginning with you fighting off a load of wolves.
Great.
But we're not here next week.
But yes, just as a reminder, we are not here next week. If anyone wishes to pilot a one-shot, feel free. If anyone wishes to even just come onto the stream and answer questions from the fans, because that might be a nice little filler episode, feel free. But there will be no official Curse of Strahd game next week.
Let us know what you guys want on the Discord server.
You can either join us in. You can either join us in the Discord server, which is linked below, or you can comment on the VOD when the VOD goes live, and leave comments there of questions that you'd like to ask us. But for now, a thank you to my players. Thank you to everyone that is watching. We are live every 7 PM Friday Eastern Standard Time, and then the VOD goes up when I have time, but always before the next week. And for now, good night.
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 Night.